Good evening. Ford is to cut a fifth of its UK workforce, with the majority of jobs being axed from its base in Basildon. The car giant's technical centre in Duncan will be worst affected as the company tries to focus more on greener vehicles. Simon Harris reports.
It's the headquarters of Ford in Britain and home to almost 3,500 workers. But the axe is about to fall on hundreds of jobs at Ford's Duncan site near Basildon in Essex. The car giant is shedding a fifth of its UK workforce, and the bulk of the redundancies will be here.
It's always a shock when you hear the announcement, but unfortunately it's something that we've been expecting, and I think this is the start of many more announcements like this in the automotive sector.
At Ford's £1 million laboratories.
For more than 50 years, Duncan has been at the cutting edge of car making. Hidden away from prying eyes, designers, scientists and engineers have undertaken research and development on new models. In recent years, Duncan has focused on the world-famous transit van. Many of the engineers who'll lose their jobs work on the development of diesel engines, making sure they meet modern emission standards. But with the switch to electric vehicles, those roles will no longer be needed.
Electric cars are much simpler in their mechanical makeup than a combustion engine car. They have far fewer moving parts and they are in many ways easier to develop. So that means they need a smaller workforce.
Ford has been an industrial powerhouse in East London and Essex for a century. For many years, the Dagenham plant was a huge employer. In its heyday, 40,000 people worked here. Today, it's down to 2,000. Basildon Council has set up a task force to help the Duncan employees losing their jobs.
Luckily, engineering jobs, these types of research jobs, high-tech STEM jobs are highly in demand. So hopefully, within the time frame we're talking about, 3 years, these people will find new work and this centre will continue to thrive as well.
Stephen and Alan spent their careers at Duncan. Stephen worked on the Focus and Mondeo. Alan helped design the Ford Sierra.
How can you describe going to play school every day? You know, it was hectic sometimes absolute manic, but it was always professional and it was always enjoyable.
People say to me, what would be your dream job? And I say I did it. It was my dream job. It was a good place to work in, actually. It was terrific. Quite mad at times, but quite brilliant as well.
Ford says the economic climate and interest rates played a part in today's decision. But the car industry is also adapting to a green revolution. Simon Harris, ITV News, Duncan.
2 officers from Kent Police and the Met are facing misconduct hearings over allegations they failed to properly investigate incidents involving former Met officer Wayne Couzens. Couzens exposed himself to members of the public in 2015 and twice in 2021. The officers are accused of a breach of professional standards in relation to how each incident was pursued. Couzens went on to rape and murder Sarah Everard in March 2021. A 35-year-old man has been charged with murder after a fatal stabbing in Hackney. 26-year-old Trey Daly from Bromley was attacked in the early hours of Saturday morning in Hackney Wick and he later died in hospital. Christopher Appiah Bailey has been charged with murder and possession of an offensive weapon. Police say they are increasingly concerned about a missing 13-year-old girl. Mariama Callan was last seen on East Street in Walworth last Thursday. A rapper has told us he is launching a legal claim against the Met for false imprisonment, assault and battery after being stopped and searched 3 years ago. Young, as he's known, was out with friends in East London when he says he was restrained by force and made to spend 24 hours in custody. Anton Allen has been speaking to him.
We're not bad people or evil people, we're just targets, and the only reason we're targets is because of the shade of our skin and what it means to them.
Pulled him into a van, a guy that was just on the phone for absolutely no reason.
The police stopped this innocent man. All charges were later dropped. Yet 3 years on, the artist known as Young is still waiting for an apology from the Met. Now he's taken them to court. In 2020, he told ITV News his strong claims against the police.
They started grabbing me with force and putting my hands behind my back and throwing me towards and bringing me towards the van. Before I've got to the van now, they've punched me in the back and pushed me into the van.
3 years ago this month, Young, who's from Birmingham, had come to the end of a night out in Shoreditch. He says the police arrested and strip-searched him after accusing him of being a local drug dealer.
Young, what went through your mind when the police took you into the van?
That They're probably trying to kill me, to be honest, that I'm a target, I'm racially profiled. My freedom's probably about to get stripped for unjust reasons that I know that I never made any actions towards.
Young says the incident has impacted his music career. He believes if his friends hadn't filmed the police, he would have spent more than just 24 hours behind bars.
100% the fact I told my friends to keep recording, hold the evidence down, and the fact that I could foresee that they were racist. And if I couldn't foresee that they were racist, then yeah, Lord knows where I'll be right now. Like many other people that are filling up the prisons, that look just like me.
Young believes the institutional racist incidents, cited as the reason the Met is now on special measures, are examples like his own experience of what it's like being a black person in London. This week, his lawyers issued a claim against the Met for allegations of false imprisonment, assault and battery. He hopes his court case will help more than just himself.
I want to achieve change. I don't want the possibilities of knowing this can happen to someone like me just because of their skin colour or what they're doing. I want more opportunities for us to see my people be able to walk the streets or whatever they want to do without the need or fear of police stopping them being.
The Met say this incident has been reviewed on 2 separate occasions, first by the Met Professional Standards officers and then by the Independent Office for Police Conduct. They say no evidence was found to substantiate Young's allegations and his complaint was not upheld. Antoine Allen, ITV News.
Finally, there ain't no party like an S-Club party, apparently, and that party is back on. The 90s pop group are reuniting in celebration of their 25th anniversary, heading out on a tour across the UK and Ireland this October. Pablo Taylor reports.
They were one of the most iconic bands of the 90s and noughties. A group that sold more than 10 million albums and who helped provide the soundtrack to a generation. Now, after 25 years, all 7 members are back and looking to start the S-Club party once again.
It's 25 years, which I can't quite believe, so it's a big celebration. And we just all started chatting, was coming up with ideas, and yeah, so we're just super excited to get back out there and do our thing.
Formed in London in 1998, S-Club 7 were thrust into the limelight, achieving 4 UK #1 singles in just 5 years and enjoying success across the globe. Now in their 40s, they say their tour, planned for later this year, gives them a chance to truly connect as a band.
This time, I'm more excited than ever. Yeah, I think we are just going to go out and have such a giggle and such a good time because, you know, I think we're all older now and we could just literally get out there and enjoy ourselves. The pressure's not as intense as maybe it was back then. So, yeah. Now we can really have an S-Club party, so yeah, can't wait.
S-Club broke up in 2003, and despite a brief reunion in 2014, some members have fallen on hard times. Paul Cattermole from St Albans admitting a few years ago that things got so bad for him, he tried to sell his Brit Awards.
Selling the Brit Awards, because it was no way a PR thing, I didn't expect it to go how it did, and I regret in a way how it has gone, because I was hoping to be able to sell them quietly without there being a furore about the situation.
S-Club 7's tour kicks off in October. They say fans can expect to hear all of their classics as they perform across the UK and Ireland before bringing it all back for a finale at London's O2. Pablo Taylor, ITV News.
On to the weather now with James Wright.
ITV London weekday weather is sponsored by Octopus Electric Vehicles. Car, charger and energy.
Hey there, good evening. Another fine start to the day tomorrow, again with a few mist patches, and that's because high pressure is dominating things. About to cave in though, all these Atlantic systems moving through over the next few days, and the first of those will be tomorrow during the rush hour. High pressure is never that far away though, so it's going to take out a lot of the oomph from these wet weather bands, but it's certainly going to bring a lot of clouds. Not the issue tonight. We've got mist and fog patches returning. Might not be quite as dense as last night. still quite widespread, and there's still a chance of an air frost, certainly a widespread ground frost with lows around 0 to 3 Celsius. So tomorrow, again, bit of a misty start, could cause 1 or 2 issues on the roads and at the airports. Won't last as long, bit more of a breeze pushing through, and that's because this system is starting to hone into view. That will bring cloud and maybe a few outbreaks of light rain later on in the day. Highs tomorrow, 13 or 14 Celsius, so slightly milder than today. Might not feel it because of the breeze. And then some sort of dank, murky dampness on Thursday. But again, temperatures on the mild side.
ITV London weekday weather is sponsored by Octopus Electric Vehicles.
And that is it. Thank you for watching and good night.